When looking for a new iPhone in 2021, you've got a fair few options. There's the latest and greatest iPhone 13 series, as well as previous generation iPhones slightly discounted. But when Apple releases a new iPhone every year, something quite special happens to the previous generation, where you see a boatload of them on the secondhand market for aggressively reasonable prices. Enter the iPhone 12 mini. While only being part of last year's flagship iPhone series, you can now get one for $500 compared to the $730 launch price. I got this phone around the time it launched last year, and I've used it as my main daily phone ever since. So here are 7 incredible benefits it offers, and also a major shortcoming to be aware of. Because this iPhone is only a year old, it's still pretty much up to date on hardware. A speedy and powerful A14 Bionic chip, which is still very close to the A15 in this year's offerings. This chip is just fast, and even when running the most complicated games, it just keeps powering through. The A14 is still faster than the chips in the highest end Android phones you can buy today, and probably still faster than some phones going into next year. The cameras will also blow you away. The hardware is far from exciting, it's just two 12-megapixel cameras, one main and one ultra-wide, but the software and the way these phones process photos and videos are just unreal. You'll struggle to take a bad photo because day or night, main or ultra-wide, is just unmatched to anything else at its price. There's no zoom lens, but I think this camera system is more than enough for most people. There's no special macro camera or sensor shift stabilization like the iPhone 13 and 13 Pros, but I'd still rate these cameras an A+ for the price. And while the photo quality is enough to amaze you, the video might make you want to burn your current phone. You can shoot up to 4K at 60 FPS, which is standard, but you can also shoot in Dolby Vision HDR, so provided your computer and editing software can handle this type of footage, it's on a whole new level. I use this phone as the main camera for shooting all of my videos, and even compared to the most expensive Android phones you can get, this still wins. Something I absolutely love about this phone is the striking design. The combination of the nanoscale form factor and the flat size make this one of the best looking iPhones in my opinion. This thing is so small that you don't even need to think about fitting this in your pocket, even your shirt pocket. I also love how the frame is matte aluminum because it feels secure and doesn't leave fingerprints, but you can't say exactly the same thing about the back. One final thing on design is the magnetic system Apple introduced last year called MagSafe, allowing you to magnetically click on accessories like cases and battery packs with ease. Speaking of small things, let's talk about my display. It's an excellent screen, a Super Retina XDR display with an excellent OLED panel, and it's a great resolution for the size as well. The display is 5.4 inches, but because there's less of a border around the screen, it's actually smaller than older iPhones like the SE and 8, despite having a larger screen. The two bones I have to pick here are the 625 nits of brightness, which can be a little dim when trying to use your phone outside, and the notch, which looks huge on this because it's the same size as larger iPhones. It isn't scaled down according to the smaller screen. The audio is also A-level. The speakers are slightly smaller than other iPhones due to the phone in general being tiny, but they still sound great. The experience of using AirPods is just as good here as the highest end iPhones, and the built-in microphones are genuinely so high quality that they even sound better than my specialized desktop microphone. In fact, I'm actually recording the voiceover of this video with only my phone. And finally, there's 5G. It's certainly not special to this iPhone, but in general, I think Apple implements 5G the best. In the US, iPhone 12 and iPhone 13 models offer the best band support of any 5G phones, meaning potentially faster speeds, and also smart data mode, allowing you to save data by only using 5G when those speeds are necessary, and switching to LTE when they're not. But now comes the shortcomings. Obviously, if you like big phones with big screens, then this isn't for you. But even if you love small phones, you can't have a smaller phone unless you have a smaller battery, and the battery in this thing is pretty tiny. It has about a 20% smaller battery cell than the normal iPhone 12, which in itself is smaller than the iPhone 13 mini and the iPhone 13. It'll hold a charge for light usage, but you will feel a significant reduction in battery life when you switch, so if battery is incredibly important to you, then it may be worth it to spend a little bit more to get the iPhone 13 mini. Now, when it comes to buying a 12 mini, you can still buy it from Apple brand new starting at $630, which is $100 less than last year, but buying used is a far better deal. I strongly recommend Swappa, as sellers on there offer excellent prices for great condition. You'll want to make sure that you can get an unlocked phone so it works with any carrier, and you can save a huge chunk of cash by buying used, and also help the environment because that phone can go on to a second owner instead of right away being traded in and recycled. If you enjoyed this video, I have many more like this on my channel, so make sure to subscribe so you never miss another one. And with that, I'm Max. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.